So that shiny new game just came out, Sovereign Syndicate, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. Keep in mind, this is not a full review, this is a quick look at the game. I played the game for around 1 hour, so I'll show some footage of the game while describing it and giving a few thoughts on it. Alrighty, so you start off the game as Atticus Daly, a Minotaur who lives in London. You choose one of 4 archetypes, which have different starting attributes and traits. Going into this game, I didn't really know what to expect. I just really liked how the art style looked and the time period it was set in, which is why I gave it a try. This game is very, and I mean heavily, narrative based. There is so much dialogue, never ending even. The loading screens themselves have a lot of dialogue as well. You actually seem to talk to yourself just as much as you do other people. For example, there's an old crone that speaks in your mind, as well as your attributes such as wit. My trait was self-reflect, and that had dialogue as well. I've genuinely never played a dialogue heavy game like this, so it was a massive change for me. When you do get to walk around, it's point and click. Okay, so I'll summarize pretty much all I did in 1 hour. After a night of drinking, you wake up to a masked stranger asking questions. Then I went to a warehouse, I stole from someone who was passed out, cause why not? Then I made my way to the sewers where I confronted a man talking to a kid. Keep in mind, I've skipped over a lot of dialogue already to this point. So I'm back in the city now, and when you're walking around, the only things to interact with are any items with a yellow symbol above it. There's usually a few or more of those in each area. Back to the stranger now. He is the only way to progress forward. Once interacting with him again, you're forced to go with him, as he has a gun and you have bounties on you. However, it seems he isn't a bounty hunter. He takes you to Red Lotus Den, which is a place for drugs and alcohol and those sorts of things. Apparently your character, the Minotaur, has been here very often. As random and strange as it sounds, the stranger wants you to take a drug that will help you remember old memories. Specifically, he wants to know about your mother. It's very strange, as the Minotaur was raised in an orphanage with nuns. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention that there's magical creatures in this world. I mean, obviously there's a Minotaur, but I've seen robots of sorts, centaurs, dwarves, and I think I saw a cyclops as well. However, humans seem to be the main populace. Anyways, back to the stranger. Once you take those drugs, you're back in the past with your memories at the orphanage, trying to remember anything at all about your mother. After that whole memory process, I was surprised when a new character popped up, Clara Reed. Once again, you choose one of 4 archetypes. With her, you start in an airship, and she seems to be a prostitute based on what I was reading. I left the ship and went down into London. I talked to a couple people around here, and then I hit the hour limit I set for myself. I honestly feel like I didn't get that far into this game. There's just an unbelievable amount of dialogue. I am certainly not used to games like this, but I was somewhat hooked by the story with the Minotaur, so I'd say I enjoyed this game overall actually. The graphics are okay-ish, not the best though. This was a new experience for me, and surprisingly, I enjoyed it. I'd say this is a pretty good game, though that's my personal opinion. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.